I'm incredibly proud and delighted to introduce you to one of the queens in movement disorders, Claudia, the current president of International Parkinson's and Movement Disorders Society. Claudia, very warm welcome to you to WFN YouTube channel. Tell us your journey. How did you become interested in medicine and neurology, and why movement disorders? How did this happen? Take us to your school days.
Okay, so to tell you upfront, I never planned to be sort of president of a big society, or I never planned this kind of career. I just wanted to be a good doctor, first on psychiatry. And when I did some work on psychiatry, I also had to do some neurology. And finally, I felt that neurology was the field that I really liked most. And when I started my career at the University Department for Neurology in Munich, I just by chance came up with to meet Wolfgang Oertel, who started a Parkinson clinic at that time. And he asked me if I'd like to join him. And so I started from the beginning seeing patients with Parkinson's disease and movement disorders, and also restless legs patients, which at that time, we even didn't know the diagnosis. So many things happened just by chance, but we had a good team there in Munich, and I had a good mentor. This is very important, that you have a mentor and that you like what you do. And I really liked it, and I also liked to do research. And so by the years, I did my residency in neurology, but in parallel, I always had some opportunities for research in movement disorders and Parkinson's disease, and then in sleep. And combining movement disorder and sleep was finally my topic, and so that I could focus on a certain area. And so in the next steps, the first years are always hard until you get your first papers out. If you meet people, they may give you opportunities to do lectures. But finally, if you are a little bit more advanced, then everything is much easier, although you always have to work hard. And talking about private life, it's always a mixture about how you can combine your private life with your work life. And the famous work-life balance is in the first years primarily more on the work and not on the life. And then it may get easier from time to time. But you always have to work hard to get some success in research.
For the viewers, Claudia said that she was interested in restless leg syndrome. She was interested in sleep. If you search what she has published, and if you search these topics, you could basically see that you cannot read anything without reading Claudia's work or Claudia's group's work. You went on to lead or the preside over World Sleep Association, if I recall correctly. And what's the secret of, despite you did not plan to lead these global organizations, the getting up there and leading them and making changes and then making lives better for fellow human beings worldwide? Is the secret hard work? How would you find this balance?
I think if you call it a secret, I think it's just more the enthusiasm, also the interest in people. I'm really interested to meet people of different cultures, colleagues from other countries. And this has also led me to the World Sleep, and to work together with them, to listen to them, and to build sort of international community. And I think this is something that's where I'm quite good in it, because I like networking. And from each country, from each culture, we can learn. And it's always inspiring to work with different people together and finally access a project. And in my very first years, I had some contact with a colleague who worked in Buenos Aires in Argentina. And then we had some collaboration with a grant from Buenos Aires and Munich. And then we learned some other colleagues from Argentina. And so over the years, we had quite a nice contact. And finally, it turned out that the boss of this group was Oskar Gerschanig. And then we met again in the Movement Disorder Society. So this is what builds finally a group, a society, that you know people and maybe know them for some years, and you support each other.
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, we are running this World Brain Day campaign right now in the middle of a pandemic with a whole lot of uncertainties. But when you looked at PubMed, scientific community has put together over 24,000 publications during last 3.5 months. It just tells what you are saying is absolutely correct. It is all about making connections and putting things together and doing your very best and be passionate and interested in what you do. I know that you got work to do and you got a clinic to start very soon. One of the other the comments that we normally hear is lack of opportunity, lack of diversity, gender imbalance. Throughout your career, did you face specific challenges because you were a woman? And if you did, how did you overcome them? I'm asking this question with the idea that this might hopefully inspire someone who might think that because they are not born in this country, or because their native language is not English, or because their native language is not German, if they think that it is a disadvantage, I want them to know that all these things are immaterial. What matters is the enthusiasm, keenness, passion, and working hard. But that's my view, and this interview is about your view. So your answer to that question.
Yeah, if you ask me if it was more difficult to get a career if you are a woman, I would say maybe in my beginning, yes, there was a lot of competition or there is a lot of competition in a university hospital, and there are a lot of men, and it's still like this, that the men have maybe more ambitions to get a career than the women. But you really have a chance. And the most important thing is that you have your own aim and you have to follow it. And you should not be, you should not have this feeling that you as a woman cannot achieve the same thing as men can, because you can. Even if you have a family, and I can tell you, I had 2 small kids when I started working at the university, and I now have a nice family and 3 grandchildren. So you can have both a family and a career. And I think my message to all women is, don't let them tell you you cannot have a career and a family. You really can have both. And did you ever ask a man, you should choose, or can you choose between your family and your career? You would not, because it's very obvious that men have a family and a career. And this is our future. We must make it very natural and obvious that women should have both a family and a career. And for sure, it is in some parts more difficult for women because they are always more responsible or feel more responsible for the kids, and they have additional things and other feelings to do because they are women. But still, it is also very good for a team to have women in the team. And you will see this applies for the economics, this applies for hospitals, for many parts in the world. If you have a gender balanced team, this is always an advantage and a success. And this is a message that both men and women should take home.
I 100% agree. I think every time when I attend an MDS meeting or WFN meeting, one thing that strikes you clearly is how truly international they are. Different kind of foods, different kind of costumes, different kind of languages, still working on a common theme. They all wanted to get the best for their patients. As far as I'm concerned, when the problems are universal, solutions has to be universal also. We might use a different language, a different culture. I think that makes these societies so much fun to work, as you correctly pointed out, and so much opportunities that people can get. Thank you very much for your wonderful time with the WFN YouTube channel. One last question. I know that you're running late. Out of your busy schedule, other than neurology, movement disorders, and sleep, what other hobbies do you have? How do you pass time other than beyond brain and sleep and neurology and restless leg syndrome?
So I really like to be with my family and the kids. And in addition, I'm a fan of music and opera, but also on hiking in the mountains. And I'm really interested in other countries and of traveling, which is not possible today, but maybe possible again in the future. And until then, I think, I hope we are looking for better times.
Absolutely. I think let's conclude this conversation reminding our viewers that diversity is not a threat. Diversity is an opportunity for this world, and it's a good thing. Yeah. And good things happened out of that to this world. Thank you very much for your tremendous leadership. And at WFN, wearing my WFN hat now, we are incredibly proud to have IPMDS as our partners for this World Brain Day campaign. Despite the pandemic, I am incredibly thrilled with the unconditional support that we are getting from IPMDS partners, and I'm sure 2020 World Brain campaign would be terrific. And thank you very much once again, and have a great day.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Bye now.